Okay, let that dry a little bit, and I'm going to look at the what would be the foreground, this area here, and I look at the painting and I see that there's sort of a dark area here. It's sort of a shadow, runs back this way. Now remember, in watercolor, you got to let the white, that is your highlights. So I got a little messy here, but I think this works well, and I probably could have made that a little lighter in that corner, but that's okay. Now we're going to add my other brush. We're gonna take our flat brush like this, okay? And that's really good for doing textures. And we're gonna see how well we can do it, sort of simulating this Van Gogh style of just texture, how he kind of put things like almost like little dots in here. So take a little water, take some more brown, and let's see if we can just sort of add some of that dot pattern that he's known for here. A little too much water right there, but I'll let that dry out. Nice set of browns. Now the colors I'm using on your palette, I'm using this brown set through here, a little bit of dark brown, a little bit of this red brown too, just to give it just a little bit extra coolness in the shadow. This one here, okay? And I'm not gonna put too much. A little bit of a shadow down there, okay? And I think I'm gonna let that sit. Okay, that's gonna be good. Come back later. Now let's tackle the background. And again, this is one of those decisions where, well, it looks pretty nice the way it is, but let's go ahead and just go for it. I'm gonna make sure I've got some clean water. Okay, let's get another water bottle here, because we're gonna go blue. So the browns and the greens we've been mixing our water in, we wanna make sure we have a fresh water, okay? So I bring my water bottle with me, and got my little water here, a little fresh one. Okay, I might even clean up a little part of my palette. I got greens and browns. Make sure there's a couple clean areas here. And I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know if I want to use my thick brush, because there's a lot of texture here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll just use my round brush. And because there's textures and things, I'm not going to worry about the brush strokes too much. I'll go up here to my blues. This is like a nice blue that looks like between these two blues here. So I'm going to start with this nice light one first. And I'm mixing it over here. I'm going to water it down because I want it light. I can always go darker. And we're just going to sort of, I'm going to make brush strokes going basically up and down, like this. And I'm not worried about letting the paper come through. Remember that? We talked about having the paper come through a little bit. Again, that's part of the idea of what makes watercolors watercolors. So I'm just sort of using the side of the brush. I'm going to go around here. Obviously try not to hit my yellow pieces, but I'm leaving white around it too. See that? might just go a little darker now, put the light in. But you know, it's a little too dark. So I'm gonna add some water. I'm gonna pull this color out of there, see that? And I'm gonna spread it out just a little bit. So I'm just gonna not dilute, I'm diluting it because it's just a little too dark. So make sure I dilute that. If I go to a darker blue, make sure I dilute that down just a little bit. So I might put it around here just a little bit like that. A little bit in there. I'll go back to my water and let it spread out just a little bit. Okay, so just a little bit here, just a little bit in there. Not worried about my lines too much. Kind of all works together. I like this sort of this dark to light out here. You know, let's get a little darker here. So I'll put a little bit more of that darker blue, just a little bit over here in this corner. And I like this white coming through here. So as you're painting, you're sort of, it's this neat exploration. You're kind of letting it be what it's going to be. I don't know if that makes sense. You're not trying to control it too much, especially a watercolor. I think that's the really artistic part about painting. You're discovering what the mediums do. It depends on their style if you want to be really technical or not. And I think this kind of works. I'm leaving that white highlight through there. I like that. I like this dark to light in here in the background. So I'm going to leave that. So I'm pretty close. The background's done. I like the way the flowers have come out. They're bright and shiny. I don't think I need any more maybe little dark areas here. Maybe just that might have been a little too much. Maybe a couple of things like this in there to show texture. Now the painting, this has got a dark shadow behind it, so maybe I'll put a little more dark there to kind of pop out this one. That kind of works because this is the flower, that part of the flower that's closest to. So I put a little shadow underneath it here, like that. Just a little bit of some darkness. Make this a little darker. I think we're good. So I think that's pretty much the flowers. And then the vase I think is okay. And then I think it's a little more texture here. I'll go back to my that flat brush here and just add a little more of the darker, just a few pieces in here like this. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we did it. I think that looks fine. What do you think? And again, the other thing that's real important in your work, make sure you sign it. And I'm going to sign down here. I'm probably going to use maybe a brown, just sort of blends in a little bit. So down here, I'm going to put, yeah, right down here in the bottom, see right by here, I'm just going to put Truman. And I'm going to put, let's see, we got 9, 20. There we go. So practice your signature, and I think we look good. Again, have a great day.